Alright, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be doing Fugu, 4th boss of the game, and I have mentioned previously that my love for Scowl is pretty great because of the way he's designed. My love for Fugu is not so great. I'm going to start off with the quick trick I mentioned earlier. This is a technique that Tiki Tombo had found. It's pretty cool. It just makes use of Diddy one last time. Okay. So, unlike all the other bosses, Fugu's hitbox is almost always available to be hit, which allows him to be beaten very quickly, but the strategy required to beat him is not easy to execute. You have to have, oddly enough, Cranky is the fastest one because of his cane. So, go figure, the fastest underwater boss destroyer would be Cranky Kong. So I managed to get the ideal strat down with Cranky on that try right there. Not easy to do. There is a backup strat that you will need to be aware of, and I would say that Scowl is the boss where you mix speed strats and consistency, like decent timing, overall strong feels. But with Baboom, you have very little control over what he does. Your own, how you react to it is what determines how the fight goes, and it's not a very quick fight. Fugu, you have complete control over the fight, and because of that, there's a lot more room for error. So, this boss is basically based entirely on your ability to hit his body back into position. And what your goal is you're trying to hit him so that he quickly returns to a spot where he won't be spinning. Because normally if you hit Fugu, if you hit him the wrong way, if he moves away from the center of the screen, he'll start spinning around to get back into position. And he spins so that you are not able to hit him. But if he's already if he's already in the spot where he wants to be, he's not going to spin at all, and you can just hit him again and again and again. Now, when Donkey Kong is missing a heart, there's a higher chance for the boss to give you a heart back. So for the beginning of the fight, as soon as you mash out of the cutscene, you want to start. I like to start swimming down and then angle myself upwards. And right around here, I've pressed A so that I can cancel out of my corkscrew, and I'm going to let my speed just coast me back up. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get very close underneath Fugu, right around here. Oh darn, I corkscrewed again. This is going to be a slight problem because I might roll into Fugu and take damage unnecessarily. So what you're trying to do is right around where I am, you're trying to pull Cranky's cane out, because his cane will reach out like further, and it'll actually hit Fugu's ass. Fugu's ass is his hitbox. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to hit it whether or not you are directly behind it, you can hit it. So you're trying to hit his ass from the front, that way it pushes him back into the corner every time. So you noticed how every time I hit him, if I was too far forward, you gotta turn back. You have to ignore the fact that Fugu is an object. You can swim through him and into him. So long as you're like invulnerable, you can just keep moving without any problem. You cannot corkscrew while you're inside him. If you try to corkscrew while you're inside him, it'll be as if you're running into a wall. So every time you hit Fugu, you need to make sure that you're always positioned in a way, like imagine his ass as a ball on the screen. You need to keep pushing his ass into the wall. And if he bounces too much up or down, you need to follow that and push it back down into the corner. Okay, anything you can do to get him back into the wall, that's what you need to be aiming to do. Now, after the first 2 hits, the last hit, you actually want to push him out because he's going to start swimming to the left. No matter what you do, he's going to want to swim to the left. So the first 2 hits into the corner, 3rd hit, you're going to be wanting to go in to push him back out. Now, hopefully, Fugu gave you a heart, and the heart RNG with Fugu is if you have Cranky, your chance of getting 1 heart while you're missing one is like, I would say it's like a 60% chance. You usually get a heart. You sometimes don't get a heart. So for the first 2 cycles, if you get a heart each of these phases and you execute them perfectly, you get to keep Cranky all the way to the end and you get the full strat. It's about a 45-second kill done decently. A 39-second kill is close to the time attack record. If you do not get the extra heart, you have to go for the backup strat. So I actually took damage unnecessarily like a silly because I wasn't paying attention. But you want to do, this is what you do for the backup strat. You have 1 heart Cranky, and this works with 1 heart Donkey Kong, and this is why it's a very solid backup. When you're on 1 heart Donkey Kong and you do damage to the boss, he's almost guaranteed 100% to give you a heart. So what you need to do is you need to align yourself right around here, turn around, be as close to the spikes as you can, and just let Fugu run into you. When Fugu runs into you, you're going to lose Cranky, and then you're going to be pretty much in the wall a bit. Just tap your corkscrew and you'll dash at him, just like this. Then move out just enough for him to do it again. Hit him again, and this is the rest of the fight. It's literally that easy. Just make sure you don't wander too far out. You know, turn around. Don't get hit by the spikes. Corkscrew forward, and remember, you want to make sure that you're holding right just as you corkscrew, so that he actually. Oh God! Ooh, that was close. Okay, so yeah, you really need to focus and pay attention, because like if for any reason you take the hit too early, you don't get bumped by him back into the wall, you need to quickly get into a position where you can go back into the strat. If not, I'm very sorry, but you're going to have to deal with Fugu the way he was intended to be dealt with. You're going to have to swim out and deal with Ultra Fat Fugu, which will cost you like a minute. But oddly enough, taking Ultra Fat Fugu in the 3rd round is less time consuming than exiting the stage. Although you may be tempted to just die and like start over again. Depends on honestly what happens, but really with Fugu you need to be careful. You need to make sure you execute the backup strategy. At the very least, you can always go for the backup strategy from the very beginning. You want to make sure that when you're hitting Fugu the first time, that you're hitting him when he's decently big, because if he's still really tiny, which he can sometimes be, then you're not going to get him into a hittable position really quickly. So Fugu's a really, really fast boss if you can execute him properly. Try it again at full speed. Now, I may or may not get the perfect strat every single time. We'll see how this one pans out. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And you can see that, like, Fugu really wants to be in the center. If I hit him incorrectly in these next couple phases, he'll start spinning like he is right now to get back into position. Okay, that was good. You want to make sure that you get out of the corner, get yourself back in position for the last phase. Good, okay. All 3 rounds just like that. Not a bad time. So with semi-clean strats, 40 seconds. If we're sloppy about it, 45 seconds. The backup strat with like no magical Cranky Cane hits is guaranteed to at least take no more than a minute. So I highly recommend you practice this boss. You need to get it down, at least get the backup strat down. Fugu is quite a way to round up World 4. And once you're done with Fugu, we're almost home free. We gotta go through 5-1. So I hope this guide helped you out, and I'm looking forward to Harvest Hazards in the Juicy Jungle. Thank you for watching.